Hey guys, how's it going? Kripp here. So I've been playing ArcheAge for 3 days now, and I want to talk about that and a few other MMOs, and you know, pretty much it's that time again where I have a little bit of a craving for an MMO, and I think eventually I'll end up playing at least one of them, and I want to tell you guys what's on the table and how it looks from my perspective, what I've heard and what I've experienced. So before I get into what I know best, which is ArcheAge as of the few that I'm going to talk about, let's get into the others. So there is Corecraft, which is a Burning Crusade private server for World of Warcraft, and I'm pretty excited to play that, but I'm not exactly sure when that will be live. And I'm not exactly sure how stable that will be, as there's a lot of hype, and I think it's going to meet that hype. So a lot of people are going to try to play, and those servers are going to get smashed. So some issues with that, but I expect good things. And then there's the regular World of Warcraft. There's Warlords of Draenor. I'd expect the beta or alpha or whatever they decide to label it to be playable sometime soon, and well, being the person that I am, I expect to be the kind of person that ends up streaming that. So I'm sure I'll end up trying that relatively soon, whenever anyone else can stream it, or shortly thereafter. And I don't expect great things, but I have to say that out of all of my time playing MMOs, raiding in World of Warcraft really was the highlight, and that's from someone who's played Dark Age of Camelot for 7 years, and I raided in that game, and I've done all the PvP, I've done everything in Dark Age of Camelot, and I loved it. But raiding in World of Warcraft is second to none in terms of MMO experience, if you play at the top level, which I did for quite a few years. And then we have WildStar. I looked up WildStar a little bit more in depth as people kept, talking about it after I made the video in which I talked about ArcheAge, and people told me that I should play it. I looked it up. I talked to a friend. I talked to Bob Slop, who's played quite a share of WildStar, and he thinks it has some flaws, though it's okay. It's pretty good, and it seems to me like it's an unusual enough game that I'd have to at least try it, and I will. And, well, other things keep coming up preventing me from doing so. But eventually, I'll try it. And I think WildStar is the type of MMO that you can play kind of like softcore. You can just, experience the game, see what's cool, have an adventure, whatever, the casual stuff. But that is fairly important to note, because that's fairly contrasted from what I believe ArcheAge will be like. So I've played ArcheAge for 3 days now. My character's in the mid-30s or something like that, and I've experienced and I kind of understand how the game is like. I haven't really grinded out the crafts, I haven't participated in the guilds, but I've watched a few of the streams. I have a pretty good idea about what's going on. I don't need to quite experience everything to have an opinion, and I'm going to share with you guys just that. So, ArcheAge seems to me like it's a game where everyone is kind of at the poverty level with things, and to get ahead you need to play a lot, so you need to be hardcore, or you need to organize yourself, so kind of pushes yourself in terms of efficiency above those who are hardcore. And most of the stuff seems to be controlled by the players themselves. I believe it's called like a sandbox MMO, and it is a type of MMO that I haven't played before. It's something that the players actually have a lot of impact into how the world is actually run. So through PvP, and this is something I didn't really consider in this type of aspect when I played things like Dark Age of Camelot, but through PvP you control regions, you control zones, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that you control like exactly which quests can be completed or that type of stuff. If you want to stop someone from questing, you can do that. If you want to kill someone, you can do that. It gives you the option to do that. And it even gives the option to kill your own teammates. It gives the option to steal stuff, to build stuff, to be annoying, to grief, to really cause misery in other players. And man, have I, missed this. It's a little bit, sadistic, but a lot of games these days are, casual in the sense that everyone wins. And this kind of aspect, in my opinion, breaks these games. And this is something I haven't really seen too much of in ArcheAge. In ArcheAge, they have a few mechanics which I'm sure a lot of people who've seen the game, have played the game, know, but you can do all this stuff, and you can become like a criminal, you can become a pirate, and to amass the wealth and to get all the best gear. Essentially, it's just like a grind, and that kind of puts off a lot of people. And because it is a free game, in my opinion, this game has a very high probability of being absolutely ruined by a high bot population. But among all those things, among all the bad things, it is a game that I believe is going to be different enough that I'd want to experience it. But contrast to WildStar, I think it's the type of game that you can't really play as casual. So if I do play this game, I will have to have some kind of organization, some kind of guild, some kind of group, some kind of idea that puts me ahead in my own kind of way. Because, well, I'm a streamer. As people have seen today, people are going to try to kill me. People are going to try to grief me because, well, it's justifiably enjoyable for some. So it's going to have to be my own way, and it's going to have to be quite a project that if I do undertake, it's probably not going to happen in the alpha. So most likely I won't be playing this game for weeks or for months, but I think there is quite a chance that I'll be playing this game for quite some time when it is released. Though in the meantime, I want to show you guys some of the fun that I experience, some of what makes this game unusual and why I want to play it, just because I want to see what it's like. And, if you've played this type of game, maybe it's not too hilarious, maybe it's not too unusual, but for me, I had my moments. And as with most YouTube videos, I didn't want you guys to miss it. The worst part is I'm gonna have to find my place afterwards.
Doesn't it show you on the map?
I hope so. Oh man, look at this asshole.
Oh,
Are you kidding me? Look at him!
PV
Oh my god! Now I know what it feels like when you see the guy who parks over 2 parking spaces with his tiny fucking car, right? This is it. This is it. Look at. Oh my god, dude. Alright. I just want a space of my own, bro. Why you gotta mess it up for me?
wow. Could almost fit 4 in there.
I'm like a warrior. Oh. Can I steal it? Oh. Oh. Free lamb. Alright. Damn, bro. Alright, let's see what other free animals we can get.